Hello and welcome back to the Portland Open JomezPro coverage of the Disc Golf Pro Tour here in Portland, Oregon, presented by Bevel Craft Brewing and Discraft Discs. We're at Blue Lake Park. We got BigSexy commentary, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
Oh, there you are, buddy. I got your back.
Thank you.
Sweet front nine, man. We had some great scores. Michael Johansen keeping it clean, 6 birdies, doing his Michael Johansen thing. Alex Russell, just all birdies. 1 par, 1 double, also shoots 5 down with you. Look at that front nine, though. Patrick Brown off to a killer start. 3 players at 6 under. There's some great scores in the front nine, but as you know, if you ever played Blue Lake, it's all about handling your business on the back nine because this is where it really starts to get tough.
Hole 10, par 3, 295, OB everywhere, but most importantly, just below the basket, about 10 feet where those big tree trunks are. That is OB, and there's a little ditch down there. So turnover backhand or high forehand, but just as you get to the pin, it starts to slope away, and it's so easy to have the disc just kind of trickle down there into the out of bounds. And this is overcooked a little bit.
Oh, this might be a bit of a... No, not enough speed to get the thrower action, but...
Turned out okay.
Yeah, it did, actually. Inside the circle, kind of a death putt from 27 feet.
And Alex, kind of a low forehand. This needs to slow down.
Oh, yeah.
And it just slows down so good. When it came out of his hand, I thought, that's skipping.
Yeah, that grass is pretty thick and
I'm going
forgiving.
A little higher, trying to kind of spike it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I really thought it was good, but
yeah, that looked so great out of your hand. I like the mid-range forehand play on this hole just for that reason right there. That high speed.
I knew how.
Yeah, grab a mortar, my friend.
It's a little far for me, but maybe I could. And Eric just got a big old bounce on that. He's OB as well.
One of those counter skips. That's a unfortunate break. He's going to have 27 feet for his par.
Good putt.
Right on the blue tape there. It's what you want to see. A good par putt. MJ keeping that action alive here. 7 down, man. Just rolling right now.
Yeah, he is.
I know MJ was out here in 2014 for the World Championships, but it's really cool to see him just touring on the West Coast. He's always been kind of the East Coast. He's toured a lot, as far as North Carolina and Virginia goes and, up and down the East Coast, he's been everywhere, but getting out around the country and seeing some different places,
yeah,
it's pretty cool to see him competing on the tour.
And getting the fans a chance to see his brand of disc golf, which is a fun thing to watch.
Mm-hmm. We got 2 birdies and 2 par saves on the card. And I said the back nine's where it starts getting crazy. It's really this hole.
And some other holes. But yeah, this is where it starts for sure. Hole 11, par 4, 670. You play into the landing zone, and then you've got sort of some options. You could theoretically go low underneath and try to get to the pin that way where the drone is flying. But I think the vast majority of players are going to try to set up a big spike hyzer. You've got OB left, long, and right all around the basket, and a lot of trees.
The play is kind of just go hyzer like MJ, but that's a little bit wide unless it really swings. Oh, it has, actually. That's a great shot. Maybe a little bit further than most players want to go even, just to give themselves a better angle on that spike hyzer.
Yeah, I'm not sure going to the very tip is really that good. It makes you throw too high.
Mm-hmm.
Like you almost want to be a little farther back so you can go with a little more forward energy.
That looked like a good placement shot for Alex.
Yeah. This, I feel, is a little bit too left and short. For the ideal.
You kind of want to be like directly in line with that one thing in the middle of the fairway, but just about 30 to 40 feet past it.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Right about
there-ish.
Yeah.
A little bit right, maybe. We'll see. It's kind of a hard hole to understand on video, but now for me, I'm throwing this as hard as I can and thinking get it as left as possible.
And it's also kind of a hard hole to understand in person.
Yeah.
So don't be too discouraged if you don't know what's going on, because I've played this hole several times and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Mine came down inbounds about 40 to 50 feet away. Really no look, but I'm really happy with that from an out-of-position drive.
Mm-hmm.
Eric looking good.
Oh, no.
And
No,
that's
no, no, no,
rolling
no.
down. Stays safe,
Okay.
but man, he could have been right there.
Yeah, that was, 15, 16 feet away from the pin when it hit?
Maybe something like that.
Oh, it's such a bummer. Bad break. I mean, he's still
Alex,
putting for birdie, though.
super high with this. I don't think this has the distance. Yeah, hard to get any distance that nose up.
Mm-hmm.
But inbounds.
MJ a bit wide, but looking pretty good in general, just to play for good position shot. And just outside the circle, that's a great setup for potentially another birdie here.
Alex with the forehand putter right up to the basket.
Good touch.
I'm just trying to get out of the woods.
What? Boo.
There was nothing.
Boo. Oh, man.
MJ just left.
It looked like he was a little bit closer to the circle from the reverse cam, but a good effort from 40 feet.
For the birdie. Another one just so close for Eric.
You can hear the kind of the humorous frustration that he's, expressing right now. It's, it's the fourth one that we've seen chain out. And it's just got to get those birdies out here, man.
Yeah, you do.
Because you're going to get, it's possible you'll see a couple people go clean with no bogeys, but most everyone's going to get 2 or 3 bogeys per round out here. You got to get those birdies.
Hole 12, par 3, 400. Double Mando through a very, very demanding gap to start. And then you also have a lot of out of bounds. So if you hit early, you're likely going to be OB and have to go to the drop zone. Then you've got OB on the right side up here and a lot of trees on the green. So it sets up some interesting putts. Really narrow gap for 400 feet, though.
And it's a good thing there's a double Mando in this hole to block that big spike hyzer route that
doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. I don't really understand why there's a double Mando.
Yeah.
There's literally just no way to even get outside this gap besides going right there.
Yeah. Alex with a great forehand drifting.
Yeah. And that's a really good shot. Not just hitting the gap and getting the distance, but not pushing that back edge where you have all these tiny trees. He actually came up short, so he has an open look to the pin for the birdie.
I'm going with a destroyer. This is heading pretty right.
It needs to sit down.
OB stake saves me.
No kidding.
That's what they told me anyway. That thing was going out.
That sounded like a shin, man. That didn't sound like an OB stake.
I hope their shin's okay, but they told me that it stayed in off the stake, so super fortunate.
And Eric showcasing
how is he doing that? He's not even throwing Annie. It's just going so straight.
He's got a lot of pop. He understands stability really great, and he's just got a good stand-up forehand. One of the better ones really in the game.
That is so far to just not have it hyzer out on you.
Yep.
MJ with a good approach.
Yeah, they place it next to that stake to make it look like it hit a stake, but once again, definitely hit a shin. Canned it too?
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
It had to be a hyzer. I couldn't see that much of the basket. I had to do a little bit of lean here to get it to get around.
Well, I wish I could say there wasn't a flood on that putt, but I'd be lying.
It needed flood.
There's about 12 floods.
You need a lot of them to go around the corner like that. Second birdie.
No. We're not going to see 3 birdies on this hole, are we?
It's starting to feel that way. Eric's only got about 20 feet.
Come on, Eric. Pick up the birdie, man. Let's go.
3 birdies and a par.
3 out of the 8 birdies on the day right here on this hole right now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Such a difficult hole. A hole you're certainly happy with a par, but wow.
Hole 13, par 4, 655 feet, straight as she goes. There's OB on all sides and long. You want to just play into the middle and set up your shot. You can go backhand, forehand, whatever your pleasure, but I think the forehand is a little more open as far as you can take a bigger, wider hyzer because the rough is not huge, tall trees over there. It's just more blackberry bushes and grass. So players with a solid forehand like Alex, this is going to be a really common tee shot. Bite off about 60% of it on the tee and leave about 40% for the second shot, I think.
You know what's crazy about Alex's forehand? Is that it's solid and fluid at the same time.
This is a little slip out for me. I'm trying to throw this thing flat. I threw it super hyzer.
Ooh.
Put it in the OB. Foolish.
I got a pretty funny story about this practicing this hole. Playing with Simon Lizotte. Oh, did the same thing.
Wow.
The ground play is so nuts. It's the softest ground in the world.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy how it got that scutter. But playing with Simon and Paul Ulibarri, and Simon just unleashes like a 650-foot shot. Like, well, that's not fair. The hole says 655. A 550-foot shot, just down the middle.
Yeah.
And then Ulibarri says, if that was a play, everyone would do it. I was like, are you kidding me?
If you're allowed to do that, you mean?
No, if that was the play, if that was like the preferred play, everyone would do it.
Oh, yeah, but it's not.
But not everyone does it, so why would you even do it?
It's not smart, yeah.
In other words, Paul Ulibarri is a funny human being.
He is funny.
And Simon's talented.
And funny. Alex puts it right to the pin. Great forehand there. I'm going to go with Firebird here. Try and save my bacon.
Yeah, get that bacon. Package it up and put it on the frying pan because that's a good-looking approach.
And Eric from a few feet in front of me, trying to do a similar line.
A little bit too crispy on that bacon there. No, don't do it. Oh, that's double OB.
And really pretty far from the basket, too, so likely double bogey here unless he can connect from 80 feet. That's pretty good effort, though.
Yeah, but still, that's going to be a 6 in the scorecard. And some questions moving forward because this is a hole with a player like Eric really needs to pick up the birdie with sidearm action. And MJ, look at this, man. Continuing that bogey-free round. 8 down now.
No OBs.
Just cruising. That's a good par save. It's a BLC. Or BLT. I don't know what a BLC is. Bacon, lettuce, cheese.
Sounds great.
I'll hold the tomato, please.
Great birdie from Alex.
Look at that. 2 pars, a double bogey, and a ton of
This
birdies.
is the first run IPA.
Come visit us in Bend. You'll get fresh beer. You'll get some hospitality, and I guarantee you'll either see Val, Justin, or I.
Fresh as you can get it, right here.
I was one of the lucky ones. I got to see Val, Doss, or Nate and Valerie, and Justin.
And Justin.
That's 4 people.
It almost sounds like 4 people, but it's actually 3. Hole 14, par 4, 875. This, again, another hole where the par has been reduced by 1 for the Pro Tour, traditionally playing as a par 5. OB on both sides, and also those 2 big islands of OB in the middle that kind of make you question when it's time to go for the pin and when it's time to lay up. Alex going with the backhand here. Got a nice little turn on it.
Yeah, and that's a nice shot. Kind of pushing the distance, but not necessarily getting as far as you really want to get that look at a birdie 3 here. But, I mean, this hole has been traditionally played as a par 5, and I still think it is. I think that it's nice to have a hole that benefits that risk-reward, big distance play to get your shot at an eagle. But it doesn't make it really any difference at all. It's still a difficult 2-shot hole.
Too much hyzer on mine. Never really got the ride I was looking for. Coming up a little short.
But it is possible to go out of bounds left, so that's a good result to not drift any further left.
That is a big rip.
It's like a big angry rip.
Quick arm there. Look at this thing. Almost.
Yeah,
This is almost to the wall.
that is an
was a
ideal
bomb.
tee shot. Yep. Hyzer foot play, and I'm guessing that's just to get you in position for maybe like a 60, 70, 90, 80.
Yeah. I was sort of thinking this is probably stupid. I should just lay up left, but then I was like, I'm a tough guy, so I guess I'll go straight over, even though I know I can't reach it. And it was actually, honestly, it was a stupid play, but I just felt like doing it, so I did it.
Nate Sexton taking a stand against Nate Safton.
Yep, my nemesis.
His nemesis, his rival.
This is the right play from where I was. Both these guys just pitch it over here, make it easy, get your 4. There's not really a whole lot of incentive for me to try to get a 75-footer. But honestly, part of what I was thinking is I got a lot of far backhands coming up. Why don't I practice one more?
Yeah, no, I sometimes think that's a good play is to just warm it up.
Yeah. Have some pressure and have to rip a big shot. And this, speaking of a big shot,
And
this
Eric
could be getting to the pin.
Yeah, he's definitely going for the big birdie look, and that's inside the circle. Something only a few players were able to do on the day. MJ playing good golf here. Sometimes when you get in those streaks, I mean, Alex and Michael are at 8 under. You get greedy and you just want to go for everything because you figure everything's going to work.
Yeah.
And both players playing within themselves and still continuing to play golf. Really good effort.
Not a bad try there.
Mm-hmm.
Eric for a birdie.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
That's like the 5th putt we've seen Eric miss, and that's just like, and they're not bad putts. They're not egregiously bad. They're just not quite in.
Me? Yeah, I'll go.
Bunch of pars. Hole 15, par 4, 780 feet, OB on both sides the whole way. You want to rip a big drive to just short, or if you can, past that access road, and then big hyzer here, a blind shot around the corner to the basket. Give me the rundown, if you can, Jerm, on the handicap for the last 4 holes. Like, what are we talking? Hardest.
Well, I mean, the last hole was the 5th. This is the 2nd. Next one's the hardest. The one after that's the 8th, and then you finish on the 12th, which is like the only
easy.
Yeah, it's only fairly easy hole.
Yeah.
But
You got the 5th hardest, the 2nd hardest, and the 1st hardest right here in a row. Alex drifts left there, goes OB, kind of an unfortunate mistake. Just must have missed his line.
And this shot needed about 10 more feet of height and maybe another 70 feet of power to be in the position where you could really start thinking about getting onto the green in 2.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty decent. That's going to get you a little bit closer to that 400 marker, but that's still
Kind of too far right, because the tree comes into play a little more if you're over there.
right.
And I don't know what happened here.
Wrong disc selection, wrong angle, one of the two, maybe both.
Yeah. Just flipped on him really far, and he's out of bounds fairly early.
And right now, 5 is going to feel great if you can get up and down and get your 5.
Yeah, there's no way you're reaching the basket from there.
Well, maybe it won't feel great, but it'll be the best feeling you could possibly leave the hole with.
Yeah, considering the available options, feeling-wise,
Yeah.
that's going to be your best one.
Disc golf's all about feelings, ladies and gentlemen.
MJ just goes mid-range there.
Again, really playing within himself right now to not give up strokes. People are going to be giving up strokes left and right. As long as you aren't, you're going to be making up strokes in the field.
I'm going big hyzer here,
And yeah, that's a great shot. That's just outside.
just outside. Alex from a kind of a strange position, almost going flex shot.
A decent result,
Yeah.
but still a long way for his 4.
Eric with the putter. Sailing on him a little bit.
Huh?
That's not the putt you want for bogey.
Certainly not. And it doesn't look like that crazy of a gallery, but considering what time did you guys tee off?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. on the first round of the tournament. That's a pretty decent. Alex giving it a good run. But keep in mind, obviously, this is Saturday. This is the first ever tournament that I'll ever have played. That'll be Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Mm-hmm. For the birdie, too low.
Gotta get it up.
And that was probably the best angry mini and disc pickup I've ever had in my life. I could have bobbled that badly.
And Eric picking up the bogey. And like we said, bogey does not feel bad after that early drive going out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a good save.
Mm-hmm.
This was a funny moment. Before MJ putted,
Little baby.
a little kid came running on the green, ran up, grabbed my disc, threw it 10 feet. Dad finally wrangled him. I'm going to come up here and insist that I was 2 inches closer than my disc is sitting.
Oh, slamma jamma right there. MJ is no stranger to distractions. That's what we do in North Carolina. Charlotte specifically, if a player is throwing or if they're playing a lot better than you, we'll razz them a little bit. So, and he's playing a little bit better than anyone else right now.
Hole 16, the hardest on the course. Par 4, 795. Hyzer shot to the landing zone, and then you've got to decide if you want to lay up or you want to go all the way across, and you have to clear all that long grass to get to this elevated basket and get a look for the birdie. MJ throwing it like he wants just a 4. That's not really looking for too much.
Yeah.
Keeping it low, but it went pretty far. I think he's got options from there.
And you're playing the hyzer play to try to get anywhere near that 400 marker.
Mm-hmm.
And does that come in screen, or can you see it there?
I can't remember where it is, but I think I'm pretty close to it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good gauge, a good addition from the Disc Golf Pro Tour this season. Some of these par 4s, it's really helpful to have some sort of idea when you have a blind basket.
Alex just catches the top of that bush, but makes it through. And now Eric's drive.
And this is pretty wide. Hyzering back into the middle. And that's a good spot to get aggressive on your second.
So there's kind of one more big cut here where you can kind of play before it gets to that little narrow area. That's what Alex is targeting. Put it in a great spot. Should have about 200 left to the pin. MJ doing a similar thing. I'm going with a destroyer, same one I threw off the tee.
And that's a great looking shot. That's just outside the circle or just inside the circle?
Right on the line-ish, I would say.
Beautiful throw.
There's actually OB just about 10 more feet than that. So I was happy that it stopped where it did.
10 feet left of that?
10 feet left of that.
Okay.
OB, yeah. So if you really come in aggressive, you could make OB. There's no OB on the trees on the right. AVR shot.
And that's a good play there.
Right up to the green.
MJ throwing that banger right up there to the pin. That'll be an easy tap-in par.
Nice.
And on a hole that's averaging 4.91, par just takes on a whole new meaning. It feels like a birdie.
And Eric misses that birdie putt. I've got this for birdie.
Look at this. Yeah. All right. You've been joining in these elite clubs. This is one birdie of only 7 on the day.
Nice. Average on the hole, am I correct in saying 4.9 something?
4.91.
That is very high.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric with an unfortunate miss high there. 4.91.
You know, Eric's had a few shots go out of bounds and a few shots not quite land as well as he would have liked, but, you know, it's not like he's missing egregiously bad putts. It's just missing a lot from that 30 range, and that's just, it builds and it adds up, and it makes it really difficult to focus on the next shot.
Yep. Hole 17, par 5, 925 feet through the woods. This one has a very different feel to the rest of the course. Not a lot of out of bounds to speak of, just mostly getting tighter and tighter and tighter as you come down this tunnel. This is a good spot to put your second shot in near these logs if you can, and then play your third up and around the corner onto this hillside so you can set up a birdie putt.
It kind of feels like you walk through a vortex to a completely different course when you get to this hole. It just doesn't, like you said, doesn't really feel like the rest of the course. It's a terrific hole. It's a great par 5.
Yeah.
But it's just got so much leaning out into the fairway, and that's not a traditional thing that you have so much in Oregon.
Yeah. I was too far right. MJ's too far right. Alex, too far right. Eric is just plain
Oh, man, that is mashed.
perfect.
That
He's
is
one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that you probably saw from Macbeth back in 2014 when he had a tap-in 3 on this hole, which I would I'm sure it's got to be the first.
It boggles the mind.
Yeah, I'm sure people have 3'd it before, but certainly no one's ever been tapped.
You wouldn't think.
No, it's unbelievable.
Alex trying to, I don't know if he was trying for a roller here.
It looked like that was pretty intentional.
Didn't end up working really very well. I am going to go with a forehand roller with the Firebird.
I did a very similar thing from a pretty similar position, but with a much better result.
Oh, come on. What do you don't like hitting the 400 stick?
Dude, you're smoking me right now, okay, on the course, so let me have this thing.
All right, sure.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, no. And the perfect drive.
And now you are in a spot where getting a par is going to be a tall task. And MJ getting a little bit of that kick left love. Coming back out on the second kick, it looks like it's pretty open there, actually.
Here's my one shot to throw a champion orc.
Bring it back for the old school days, man.
Wow. That was a fantastic shot. I was super happy. The gap was pretty small. I actually got that orc. A guy messaged me and said, hey, I found this in Arkansas. It played against sports. I bought it. Can I send it back to you? I was like, yeah, man. I'm definitely going to reimburse you what you paid. Pay for shipping. That is so cool.
Super cool points, man.
Found that thing for me and got it back to me.
And look at this. A
Just
sideways pitch.
Pitch it out.
And that is just such a bummer considering one of the best tee shots you're ever going to see.
His drive was so much better than ours, and now after 3, he's got the toughest spot. Get around the tree. Yeah.
And that is inside the circle. Should be a par save. MJ having to get scrappy. He is still without a bogey.
And OB free.
And that's kind of shows exactly why he was the Scramble Player of the Year, I think, in the inaugural Disc Golf Pro Tour season back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2016.
That makes sense.
2016 was the inaugural Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Great save from Eric. Disappointing to be sure, but at least doesn't make bogey.
And another scramble for MJ. He is just cruising along, a lot more gray on the scorecard now, but that's to be expected on this back nine. As you can see, those green and gray scores started turning from green and gray to gray and red and some purple mixed in, and it's going to look like that on just about every single scorecard.
Hole 18, par 4, not 400 feet. I'm not buying that. It's farther than that for sure. Big hyzer going around the corner, and then you've got low ceiling approach to the basket with OB all around it. Most players just trying to throw a big hyzer, get out of view to the left, avoid those little Christmas trees. See what you can do. The real distance, 600 feet.
That is a great throw. Does it have good access to the pin? We'll have to see.
I would rank its access to the pin at 5 out of 10.
Okay. MJ with a equally nice throw with an equally limited access to the pin, most likely.
Yeah, those little furs can wreak havoc.
And if that gets past that little tiny guy right there, which it does not, that would have been set up great for the hyzer backdoor nothing in the way route.
And Eric looking to throw big hyzer here.
This is a bit tight. This is really tight. And this is out of bounds. And
oh boy.
He is not happy right now. Kind of at the point where it's like, get me over with this. Let me just come back tomorrow and try again, please.
Yeah.
Look at this low ceiling rip from Alex. Beautiful shot. And he's going to have a tap in to finish to go to 8 down for the round.
MJ using every last bit of height through there with the turnover.
Oh, wow. That was beautiful. Little air bounce to that Comet. Such a pretty shot. And you're going wide?
I'm going with the forehand here inside.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pretty open gap. Not much ground play, unfortunately, but still inside the circle. Oh, no. And Eric needed to get up and down for the bogey. He's got this left for a 5. And connects on it. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Finishing at 1 over par for the round. That score is going to be bad in these conditions, but later on in the day, I think he'd be pretty happy with 1 over.
The rain is definitely on its way.
And that's a great putt. At 28 feet, this elevated basket is treacherous, but only if it's wind. In the calm, this isn't going to scare any of us. Unless there's maybe a slope behind you or something like that, but flat ground elevation, pretty much another normal day in the park.
Yep. Birdie for MJ, -9 on the round. And Alex joining me at -8.
OB free, bogey free, 9 down.
I did bogey free, but I was not OB free.
I was talking about Michael, so there you go.
I know. I'm saying he did it. I didn't.
Why don't you just toot your horn about it?
Oh, I'm tooting half of it. I was bogey free. But.
No, these are 3 great rounds, and Eric obviously is going to be frustrated, but only in 51st place out of 110 players. Big moves can be made in round 2. The conditions are going to be nice for almost everyone, hopefully. Adam Jomez with a hot 10-down start. Simon Lizotte and James Proctor able to match Michael Johansen start at 9 down. And tight action here at the top.
Yeah, 4 players at 8 making up the second card. We will be back with round 2 action from Blue Lake tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and supporting on Patreon. See you here tomorrow.